and welcome to this, our fourth episode of the Longines World's Best Racehorse Ranking Show. My name's Francesca Cumani, and in this episode we'll be looking back to the sizzling action on the track of the month that's been, and then throwing it forward to see what's coming up on the horizon, including exciting developments ahead of the world-famous Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe. Right, first up, let's take a look back, as always, at the top racing action from the last month, including the Juddmonte International Stakes, which last year was ranked as the Longines World's best race at a beautiful York racecourse.
And this is the Mishriff we've seen the world over, producing his best form back in the UK, and Mishriff absolutely blitzes them.
But it's Palace Pier, now goes on by a length and a half. Poetic Flair is bearing down, but Palace Pier is just holding on.
It's Jackie's Warrior, life is good. The two of them will battle it out to the finish in the Allen Jerkins, and it's going to be Jackie's Warrior by a head.
Order of Australia and the blue jacket of Victor Ladorum giving chase in second and third places, but it will be 5 from 5 by Wims.
Nature Strip in full flight here in the Tab Concord, and at his third tilt of the race, he's a big winner today. Nature Strip won it by 3 lengths to Wild Ruler.
Essential Quality narrowly. Midnight Bourbon continues the battle on. They're coming down for the finish. It is Essential Quality and Midnight Bourbon. Essential Quality has won the Run Happy Travers.
There are 3 dirt horses that have achieved a rating of 121 or higher. Now, Mystic Guide, who won the Dubai World Cup, he's out for the remainder of the season. But 5-year-old Knicks Go and 3-year-old Essential Quality are divisional leaders in the United States. And they're both trained by Brad Cox. Now, we caught up with Brad to find out what it takes to keep these elite athletes at the top of their game.
They're two opposite horses in regards to training and how they perform.
And Knicks Go goes all the way in the dirt mile.
And it is Essential Quality, and he's showing his quality today. The champion 2-year-old has won the test of the champion.
Knicks Go's, and a very impressive horse, and is a speed horse. Obviously, horses have a hard time catching. Knicks Go's very forward, can be very strong to gallop. After the Saudi Cup, he got a break. He come back in the Met Mile, didn't perform quite like we were expecting, and then on to the Whitney.
And holding on to the lead here, it's Knicks Go with a wire-to-wire victory in the Grade 1 Whitney.
Moving over to Essential Quality, he's a horse that kind of breaks, can adapt to the pace. He showed that in the Bluegrass at Keeneland. Essential is more of a laid-back guy out there on the racetrack. When we turn our attention toward the Travers,
it is Essential Quality and Midnight Bourbon. Essential Quality has won the Run Happy Travers.
With his body of work, I'd say, pretty safe to say, he's pretty fit and he's going to get the mile and a quarter. 2 totally different horses in regards to what they've accomplished this year. A dream come true, really. I mean, these are the best 2 horses in the world on the dirt, and very fortunate to be in this position. It's been a great season. And hopefully we can continue through the Breeders' Cup, and it'd be nice to be 1-2, and we'll see how it works out.
There have been some new entries into the rankings this month off the back of some exciting runs across the globe. Over in Saratoga, we had Jackie's Warrior beating the 120 rated Life is Good in the Allen Jerkins Stakes. And we had Midnight Bourbon coming second to 121 rated Essential Quality in the Travers Stakes. And those performances have been enough to propel the Steve Asmussen pair into the picture on a rating of 120. We also saw William Haggis's exciting and, so far, undefeated Baid move on to a rating of 121 from 120 after a win on his Group 1 debut in the Prix de Moulins in Paris. Now, what does the top of the rankings table look like this month? In joint 5th on a rating of 124, we have the Brad Cox trained Whitney winner Knicks Go. Also sat on a rating of 124 following a triumphant return in the Group 3 Concord in Sydney, it's Nature Strip as the world's best sprinter. Occupying 4th spot all to himself, the back-to-back Jacques Lemaire champion, Palace Pier. And in a 3-way tie for first position on an impressive 127 rating, we have Adayar. Fresh off his dominant Juddmonte Stakes victory at York in England, an improving Mishriff moves up to a share of the top spot. And the final share of the top goes to St Mark's Basilica on a rating of 127. The month ahead is shaping up to be a huge one for all involved in the sport of horse racing because we're building up to the 100th renewal of the world famous Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe. Here's a little taste of the talent that could be on show for us in Paris on October the 3rd.
He's relentless, and they are the first Army winner since Galileo to win the King George.
And this is the Mishriff we've seen the world over, producing his best form back in the UK, and Mishriff absolutely blitzes them.
St Mark's Basilica goes on. It's going to be 4 straight Group 1s from St Mark's Basilica.
Hurricane Lane on the near side, closing with every stride. Hurricane Lane has got him.
She's putting them all to the sword here. Chrono Genesis from Kiseki Mosabello in for third maybe, but it's Chrono Genesis wins it.
A wide margin, this could break the record. Snowfall wins for Kazoo Oaks.
Here comes Tarnawa, storming down the centre of the course to take the lead, and Tarnawa, the filly, has won the turf.
Now, who can forget the influence of the Japanese on the Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe in years gone by? They've come so agonisingly close with the likes of El Condor, Passa, Deep Impact, and who can forget Orfèvre, let's face it. But this year, could it be their year? Because they've got the super exciting filly Chrono Genesis lining up. Having ridden her to victory in the Group 1 Takarazuka Kinen, Christophe Lemaire chats to us about his thoughts on the filly, his thoughts about Sheen Murphy riding her, and any others to look out for in this year's arc.
My name is Christophe Lemaire. I'm 42 years old. I'm a professional jockey for the last 25 years. Chrono Genesis is a very consistent mare. In every race she ran, she did a very good performance. She got beat sometimes, but only by champion horses like Almondai.
Almondai goes to the wire, she wins and gets into the history books.
The Shima Classic comes up and it's Mishriff. Mishriff by a hit over Chrono Genesis.
She has a big heart. She's keen enough to keep a good position during the race.
Chrono Genesis from Kiseki Mosabello in for third maybe, but it's Chrono Genesis wins it.
Sheen Murphy is a great jockey. He can adapt himself to any kind of horses. I have no fear of seeing him riding Chrono Genesis. She's a really good filly, and she's also used to travel because she went to Dubai. She did a good performance there. She should like the French way of racing. She can go in any ground. She feels comfortable even on soft ground. She's even much better on soft ground, so she should like Longchamp racetrack. This Arc edition will be wide open. Aidan O'Brien horses looks very strong. The Irish Oaks and the English Oaks was very impressive. She's kind of a champion filly, so hopefully the ground condition will be perfect and everybody should have his chance to get the title.
Now, with some movement in the racehorse rankings, how has that affected things at the top of the Longines World's Best Jockey standings? Well, with Group 1 racing returning to the Southern Hemisphere, we may be seeing a push of new contenders at the top. In second place on 54 points, we have an improving James McDonald. Extending his lead in first place with 2 hard-earned third places, we have Ryan Moore, who becomes the first jockey this year to break the 100-point mark. Along with the Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe, we've got several exciting races coming up for you in the next month, including on the same day, the Longines Prix de l'Opéra and the Prix de la Forêt. That's on top of great action from America, Australia, New Zealand, and across the rest of Europe. Now, as always, we hope you've enjoyed this month's show, and we look forward to bringing you more action next month, where we look forward to brilliant Group 1 racing, including the Breeders' Cup.